More than 3 million pages, 2,000 videos, and 180,000 images. CNN teams are carefully sifting through the largest, and what the Justice Department says is the last, batch of Jeffrey Epstein files.
When long-sealed documents tied to the Jeffrey Epstein scandal began circulating online, the internet erupted with speculation and accusations. Now, actor Jim Caviezel has stepped forward, breaking his public silence about media icon Oprah Winfrey and the controversy surrounding those files.
I asked him about that one particular part where everybody's talking, and they all cried out Epstein Island. Epstein Island isn't the only island out there.
Supporters say his comments raise urgent questions, while critics argue the claims are built on rumor and misinterpretation. So, what exactly do the documents say, and why has this moment reignited debate about powerful figures, networks, and accountability? In this video, we unpack Caviezel's statements, the Epstein records, and the facts behind the headlines. Jim Caviezel breaks his silence. For years, Jim Caviezel remained largely quiet about some of the powerful forces he believed were operating behind the scenes. But now, the actor known for speaking boldly about issues he cares deeply about has finally broken his silence. And what he is saying has sparked intense conversation and controversy. Caviezel has pointed to newly discussed Epstein-related documents, claiming that the name of media mogul Oprah Winfrey appears multiple times within the wider discussions surrounding those files. According to him, this is something the public deserves to examine more closely. Caviezel argues that Oprah is not just another celebrity mentioned in passing. In his view, she represents something far bigger. With decades of influence through television, publishing, film, and philanthropy, Oprah built one of the most powerful media empires in modern history. Caviezel describes her as a kind of gatekeeper, someone whose enormous platform has the ability to shape public conversations, elevate certain voices, and keep other stories out of the spotlight. The actor believes that when a figure with that level of power appears in documents connected to one of the most disturbing scandals in recent history, people naturally begin asking questions. For Caviezel, the issue is not about rushing to judgment or spreading rumors. Instead, he says it is about transparency and accountability. In his opinion, the Epstein case exposed a much larger network of influence involving wealthy and powerful individuals across the world, many of whom have never fully explained their connections. By speaking out now, Caviezel says he is challenging a culture where influential figures are rarely questioned, and uncomfortable topics are quickly dismissed. He insists the public deserves honest answers, especially when the situation involves serious allegations tied to powerful circles. Whether people agree with him or not, Caviezel's comments have reopened a heated debate. His message is simple but direct. When information surfaces that raises concerns, it should not be ignored. Instead, it should lead to deeper investigation, open discussion, and a genuine search for the truth. Jim Caviezel is boldly speaking out about Oprah Winfrey's role in connection with the recently exposed Epstein files. But what exactly is he implying? And what is he revealing about one of the world's most influential and wealthiest women? Now, let's uncover the controversies surrounding Oprah's powerful platform. The hidden influence behind Hollywood and media. Jim Caviezel has also raised serious concerns about the influence of Oprah Winfrey's vast media empire and the role it may have played in shaping how certain powerful figures were viewed by the public. According to Caviezel, Oprah's platform has, at different times, brought attention and credibility to individuals who later became the center of major scandals. Two names that often come up in these discussions are Brazilian faith healer John of God and Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein. For many years, both men were seen as respected and influential in their fields. Oprah interviewed and featured John of God on her programs, helping introduce him to a global audience. At the time, he was widely praised as a spiritual healer who attracted people from all over the world seeking help. Years later, however, dozens of women came forward with disturbing accusations against him, leading to criminal convictions and prison sentences. A similar pattern appears in the case of Harvey Weinstein. Before his crimes were publicly exposed, Weinstein was one of the most powerful producers in Hollywood, surrounded by celebrities, politicians, and influential media figures. Oprah and Weinstein were photographed together at high-profile events, and their long-standing connection has since been questioned by critics who believe powerful networks helped maintain his reputation for years. Caviezel argues that these examples reveal something larger than individual friendships. In his view, they highlight how influence and reputation can protect powerful people for far longer than they should. When a trusted media figure shares a stage, an interview, or a public endorsement with someone, it often sends a message to the audience that the person is respectable and trustworthy. That is why Caviezel believes the conversation goes beyond Hollywood gossip. For him, the real issue is about power and responsibility, about who controls the narrative and which stories receive attention. When powerful platforms highlight certain voices while ignoring troubling signs, important truths can remain hidden from the public for years. Jim Caviezel argues that Oprah's platform has been used to shield influential figures from controversy. But could he be right? Is it possible that she is deliberately using her media empire to protect powerful individuals? And what exactly is her platform built upon? Let's uncover the shocking details. Oprah's global influence and reach. For decades, Oprah Winfrey has stood as one of the most influential and recognizable figures in the world of media. Her rise from humble beginnings to becoming a billionaire television host, businesswoman, and philanthropist is often described as one of the most remarkable success stories in modern history. Through The Oprah Winfrey Show and the media empire that followed, she built a platform that reached millions of viewers across the globe, turning her voice into one of the most powerful in entertainment and public conversation. What made Oprah unique was not just her popularity, but the level of trust she earned from her audience. People did not simply watch her show for entertainment, they often saw her as a guiding voice, someone who could introduce them to new ideas, inspiring stories, and influential personalities. Over the years, she interviewed presidents, actors, authors, spiritual leaders, and business moguls. Her famous book club could instantly turn an unknown novel into a bestseller, and a single appearance on her show could dramatically change someone's career. However, with such extraordinary reach also comes an equally extraordinary level of influence. Oprah's platform allowed her to shape public conversations in ways few individuals ever could. When she chose to spotlight a story, promote a person, or support a cause, millions of people paid attention. Her endorsements often carried enormous weight, shaping how audiences viewed the individuals who appeared alongside her. This level of power naturally raises important questions about responsibility. When a figure with such global influence introduces someone to the public or provides them with credibility, that moment can affect how the world perceives that person for years to come. In many ways, Oprah became more than a talk show host. She became a cultural gatekeeper. Her ability to highlight certain voices while leaving others out meant she played a significant role in shaping which stories reached the public and which ones remained largely unseen. Few people in modern media have ever held that kind of influence over public attention and perception. There's no doubt that Oprah has the power to shape conversations and influence how audiences perceive people and events through her shows. But how does Jim Caviezel plan to expose what he believes is wrong with her and the way she controls the narrative? Could it be through a podcast, a documentary, or even a movie that reaches millions worldwide? Let's find out. Sound of Freedom. Sound of Freedom, the film starring Jim Caviezel as former government agent Tim Ballard, was never meant to be just another Hollywood thriller. From the beginning, those involved in the project described it as something much deeper, a story intended to shine a light on a dark reality many people rarely think about. The movie focuses on the global crisis of child trafficking and the dangerous networks that exploit vulnerable children around the world. Caviezel threw himself into the role with unusual intensity. He didn't treat it as a simple acting job. Instead, he spent time studying the real-life stories behind the mission, learning about how trafficking operations work and the risks taken by those who try to stop them. As production moved forward, Caviezel often spoke about feeling personally connected to the message of the film. For him, the story was about raising awareness and forcing people to confront an issue that is often hidden from public view. But bringing the movie to audiences was not easy. Although the film had already been completed, it reportedly sat unreleased for several years while studios debated whether to distribute it. Supporters of the film say the delays revealed how uncomfortable the subject matter was for parts of the entertainment industry. Eventually, the movie found a path to theaters, where it quickly sparked strong reactions from viewers. Early screenings were especially intense. Some audience members reportedly reacted with shock and emotion as the film unfolded. At certain moments, People even shouted references to Epstein Island, linking the film's theme of trafficking networks to the infamous scandal involving financier Jeffrey Epstein. For many viewers, the story on screen seemed to echo headlines that had already shaken public trust. Whether one sees the film as a dramatic story or a wake-up call, Sound of Freedom clearly struck a nerve. It opened a larger conversation about hidden crimes, powerful connections, and the responsibility of media to bring difficult truths into the open. Jim intends to use film as a powerful channel to expose the dark truths that few have dared to speak about. But does he have the ability to succeed with this medium? And what kind of precedent does he have when it comes to delivering messages through movies? Let's dive into the details. Hollywood veteran who risked everything. Jim Caviezel has spent decades navigating the highs and lows of Hollywood, building a career that few actors achieve. From blockbuster hits that captivated audiences worldwide to smaller projects that struggled at the box office, his filmography is a testament to both resilience and versatility. He has appeared in critically acclaimed films and top-rated television shows, earning respect for his performances and dedication. Through it all, Caviezel has maintained a steady presence in an industry known for its volatility and ruthless competition. This long-standing experience gave him a unique perspective on how Hollywood really works. He learned the unspoken rules, the networks of influence, and the ways powerful figures often control what gets made, promoted, or buried. He saw firsthand how careers could rise or fall depending on who you knew, who backed you, or who you crossed. And he understood the risks of challenging that system, how speaking out against certain people or controversial topics could easily end a career or damage a reputation forever. That understanding makes Caviezel's decision to take on Sound of Freedom all the more remarkable. The film tells the true story of Tim Ballard, a man dedicated to rescuing children from human trafficking networks, including connections tied to some of the world's wealthiest and most powerful individuals. By stepping into this project, Caviezel wasn't just acting. He was putting his name, his reputation, and his career on the line. He risked alienating industry insiders, losing future roles, and even being personally attacked, simply to help shine a light on crimes that often remain hidden. In an industry that rarely rewards courage or whistleblowers, Caviezel's bold choice to tell this story demonstrates both his commitment to truth and his willingness to face consequences. It shows a side of Hollywood few see, a side where integrity can come at a cost, and where exposing injustice is far more dangerous than staying silent. His career, marked by both triumphs and setbacks, now stands as a testament to the risks of speaking truth to power. Beyond Jim's talent and determination to use his film to deliver a powerful message, does Oprah have a pattern of using her platform to shield highly regarded individuals from controversy? And what is it about her media empire that makes it so concerning? Now, let's unravel the pattern of enabling and silence. The cycle of influence. Oprah Winfrey's influence in media and culture has been immense, but Jim Caviezel argues that it comes with consequences that go far beyond entertainment. Over the years, she has repeatedly befriended, promoted, and publicly validated individuals who were later accused of serious wrongdoing. These include high-profile figures like Jeffrey Epstein's associates, Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein, Brazilian faith healer John of God, and even controversial individuals connected to her South African Academy for Girls. Each case reveals a concerning pattern that raises questions about the power of celebrity and the responsibility that comes with it. According to Caviezel, the pattern is striking. Oprah's attention and endorsement often give people legitimacy in the public eye. By appearing on her shows, attending events with her, or benefiting from her influence, these individuals gain a shield of credibility that can protect them from scrutiny. Yet, when allegations emerge, the pattern continues. She often remains silent or minimally responds, allowing the public to focus elsewhere while the individuals she once promoted continue their lives largely unchallenged. Then, seemingly without consequence, she moves on to other projects or public causes, leaving the previous controversies in the shadows. Jim Caviezel points out that this isn't just about private relationships or one-off events. It reveals how power really works. When someone as influential as Oprah publicly supports a person or idea, it can twist how people see the truth, slow down accountability, and shape public opinion. This kind of sway can shield the guilty, letting them escape consequences far longer than justice should ever permit. leaving a dangerous ripple effect. For Caviezel, recognizing this pattern is a warning. It's a reminder of how easily platforms, fame, and trust can be used to shield wrongdoing and manipulate narratives. Beyond celebrity gossip, it's a cautionary tale about power, accountability, and the responsibility of those who hold influence over millions of people worldwide. Oprah has repeatedly befriended, promoted, and publicly validated individuals who were later accused of serious abuse. But what kind of abuse are we talking about? Was it molestation, exploitation, or something even more devastating and shocking? Let's find out. Global child exploitation. While Oprah Winfrey and other powerful elites continued to shape narratives and maintain influence, the dark underbelly of the world continued to operate largely unchecked. Human trafficking networks thrived across continents, exploiting the most vulnerable, innocent children. These weren't isolated incidents or distant stories. They were part of an organized, global system that preyed on the defenseless. Jim Caviezel, through his work on Sound of Freedom, became intimately aware of the staggering scale and horror of these operations. He has described his experiences in Colombia, where he witnessed the human cost firsthand, the fear, the desperation, and the exploitation that children endure in ways most of the public cannot imagine. In the United States, the statistics are equally alarming. Over 300,000 children under the age of 18 have been affected by trafficking operations, according to reports cited by Caviezel. Tens of thousands have vanished at the border alone, disappearing without a trace while authorities struggle, or in some cases fail, to track them. Each number represents a life disrupted, stolen, or destroyed. And yet, these stories rarely make headlines. They remain hidden from public scrutiny, buried beneath layers of bureaucracy, media oversight, or, in some cases, deliberate avoidance by those with the influence to bring them to light. This is the backdrop that gives weight to Caviezel's critique of Oprah and others with extraordinary media power. When someone of her stature has the ability to shape public awareness, her silence or selective attention becomes more than a personal choice. It becomes a force that influences perception and priorities. By controlling which stories reach millions and which remain hidden, she and others like her wield a kind of authority that affects real lives, for better or worse. Caviezel's observations highlight the stakes. The fight against trafficking is not just about law enforcement, it is about breaking cycles of influence that allow evil to operate in the shadows while the public remains unaware. This makes understanding the role of media gatekeepers crucial in confronting and exposing global exploitation. The number of children affected by molestation and abuse is staggering, raising serious questions about how such horrors have been hidden for so long. But can they remain concealed forever? Or has the time finally come for the truth to emerge and confront the menace of child exploitation? Let's uncover the details. The impending reckoning. Jim Caviezel has been sounding an urgent warning about what he calls an impending divine reckoning, a moment that could shake the world and force hidden networks of corruption into the light. He believes this reckoning isn't just a metaphor, it represents a turning point where truth and accountability may finally reach those who have long been shielded by wealth, influence, and silence. For Caviezel, the recently released Epstein files are not just documents, they are a tipping point, a signal that the walls protecting powerful individuals may be starting to crumble. According to him, the files reveal connections, transactions, and associations that demand attention. These are not isolated incidents or minor controversies, they point to a much larger web of influence that spans industries, governments, and social circles. Caviezel's warning is that this reckoning could arrive in multiple forms. It might manifest through legal investigations, whistleblowers stepping forward, public outrage, or even forces beyond human understanding. Whether one interprets it as prophecy or as a social awakening, the principle remains the same. Those who have hidden behind their power for decades may soon face scrutiny they cannot escape. Jim Caviezel challenges society to make a choice, a moment that cannot be ignored. Will we keep protecting the powerful through silence, pretending the evidence doesn't exist, and turning a blind eye to the wrongs committed? Or will we finally face the truth, exposing those who have hidden behind influence and privilege for far too long? His message carries urgency because this isn't just theory, it impacts real lives, shaping the safety and trust of systems meant to protect the innocent. Caviezel's warning is clear. The time for justice is now, and society cannot afford to look away. For viewers, this is more than a call to watch a story unfold. It is a challenge to consider their role in demanding accountability. Caviezel presents a stark contrast between inaction and responsibility, warning that the era of unchecked influence and hidden crimes may be coming to an end. The question he leaves behind is both simple and profound. Will we allow the same patterns of silence and protection to continue, or will the coming reckoning finally bring the long-awaited justice the world desperately needs? So, what do you think about Jim Caviezel's shocking revelation? Could it help curb the menace of child exploitation? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.